Good morning, students. I welcome you all to the 8th class in physics today. You remember, children, that in the last class I taught you about atmospheric pressure and certain common consequences of atmospheric pressure, for which I picked up examples from our day-to-day lives in order to explain you the consequences. In today's class, we are going to focus on a device named the barometer, which is used to measure the atmospheric pressure. Before I start with the barometer and the other topics which I want to explain today, I would like to tell you that there are certain topics which are not in the syllabus prescribed by the boards, but they are included in your concise physics books. So I don't want you to get confused, and we are not supposed to do those topics. So I've made a note of them, and I want you to take note of these topics which are not to be done. That is, we are not going to do simple barometer in detail. That is, the working and the construction has not to be done. We are not supposed to do advantages of using mercury and disadvantages of using water as a barometric fluid. We are not going to do the demerits of a simple barometer, and neither are we going to do the 14s and the aneroid barometer. Okay, so let us start with what are the uses of a barometer. A barometer can be used to measure the atmospheric pressure of a place. It is used for weather forecasting, and it is also used as an altimeter. What is an altimeter, children? It is a device which is used to measure the height of a particular place. Okay, now let us pick up one by one the different uses, and I'll explain it to you. The first thing is that we are going to pick up that how does the atmospheric pressure vary with altitude. There are 2 points included in this. The atmospheric pressure depends upon the height of the air column lying above a particular person, and it also the atmospheric pressure also depends upon the density of the air layers. Let us look at it one by one. In order to understand the first point, I have drawn a diagram for you, children, and in this diagram I have shown the different layers of atmosphere. Okay, there is a person here, and there are so many layers of atmosphere lying above the person. Now, if this person is at the ground level, you can see, or at a minimum height, you can see that there are so many layers of air above the person, lying above the person. So, as the number of layers are more, there is more amount of thrust which is exerted by the atmosphere on this person. But if this particular person moves to height A, what is going to happen? The layers of the air will reduce. When the same person moves to B or to C, you can see that as the height increases, what happens? The layers of the air lying above the person reduces. And as a result of this, what happens is that there is a decrease in the atmospheric pressure. So what do you come to know from here? That as the height of the air column above a particular person decreases, what happens is the thrust exerted by the column of air also reduces, and thus reducing the atmospheric pressure acting on the person. So we can say that the atmospheric pressure reduces with increase in altitude. Now let us look at the second point. Here also I have shown the different layers of atmosphere. We all have already discussed about this, that the density of the air below in the lower layers is more than the density of air in the upper layers. Okay, so what happens is that due to this variation in the density, we can say that as the density decreases, the atmospheric pressure also decreases, which means that when we move to higher altitudes, the density of air reduces, thus reducing the atmospheric pressure. If you remember, in the last class, children, I discussed about the ill effects of high altitude. I told you that when you move to higher altitudes, what happens is sometimes your nose starts bleeding, or sometimes you feel breathlessness, and even people feel uneasy. And when mountaineers who climb greater heights, what happens is that they always are recommended to carry oxygen cylinders. Why so? Because the density of air as a person climbs up reduces, and due to decrease in density, what happens is that the person does not get ample oxygen which is required by the body, due to which a person may feel breathlessness and may also die. So due to that, the mountaineers are advised to carry oxygen cylinders with them. Similarly, the patients who suffer from high blood pressure or low blood pressure are not advised to move to higher altitudes due to health issues. Why? Because when the person is on the surface of the earth, there is a perfect balance between the blood pressure and the atmospheric pressure. As the person moves up to higher altitudes, what happens is that the balance is no longer existing. Why? Because the blood pressure exceeds the outer atmospheric pressure, due to which there can be health issues. So therefore, blood pressure patients are not advised to move to higher altitudes, or if they have to move to higher altitudes, they have to consume certain medicines. Okay. Similarly, in case of a fountain pen, if you carry a fountain pen to higher altitudes, it leaks. Why does it leak? Because the same thing happens in a fountain pen as it happens in case of blood pressure. There is ink pressure inside the fountain. When you move to higher altitudes, the ink pressure exceeds the outer atmospheric pressure, which leads to the leakage in the fountain pen. Okay, children? I hope you have understood this. Okay, now we move to a graph. Now here you can see that I have plotted a graph between the atmospheric pressure, the unit of atmospheric pressure being centimeter of mercury, and the height above the sea level in kilometers. With the help of this graph, I will show you how does the atmospheric pressure vary with altitude. Now you can see that I have taken atmospheric pressure on y-axis and height above sea level on x-axis. As the height goes on increasing, the atmospheric pressure goes on decreasing. So what is the relation between the two? The relation between the two is that they are inversely proportional to each other. That is, as the height above sea level will increase, the atmospheric pressure will decrease, and you are supposed to know how to plot this graph. Okay, children? Now, let us move to a topic like how can we, with the help of a barometer, how can we forecast about the conditions of weather? Okay, how does barometer help in it? Now here I have prepared a list for you children. Now in this list, what have I done? I have shown you that how does the barometric height, the changes in the barometric height of mercury, barometer contains mercury. So when there is a fluctuation in the level of mercury in the barometer, how can we predict the weather forecast? Let's see that. First of all, note that when the barometric height suddenly falls, it indicates the coming of a storm or a cyclone. And why does this happen? Because the pressure, atmospheric pressure, suddenly decreases. Now let us look at the second point. Whenever there is a gradual fall in the barometric height, it predicts the possibility of rain. And why does this happen? Because the moisture content in the air increases. Now the third point, if there is a gradual increase in the barometric height, gradual is a slow increase in the barometric height, it indicates the coming of dry weather, and that is due to the decrease in the moisture level. If there is a sudden rise in the barometric height, it indicates the coming of a extremely dry weather, and that is when the wind starts blowing from high pressure area to low pressure area. Okay, that mostly happens in summer season. Okay, then when there is a abrupt change in the barometric height, abrupt means it's not regular, or it's just all of a sudden. What does it predict? It predicts that the weather will remain unchanged, and in that condition the atmospheric pressure remains normal. So here there are the different conditions with the help of which we know or we can forecast the weather. Now the last topic is altimeter, which I have already spoken about. I told you that an altimeter is a device, namely it's an aneroid, mainly it's a aneroid barometer, which helps us to measure the altitude of a place. And you know very well children that the altitude of a place is directly linked with the atmospheric pressure. And how is it linked with the atmospheric pressure? That is, when the height increases, the height above sea level increases, the atmospheric pressure decreases. Okay children, so this is all in today's class, and I want you to go through these topics very carefully, and I am going to send you a worksheet which is related to this topic. And with this topic we come to the end of the chapter pressure in fluids and atmospheric pressure, which is the second chapter in physics, and we complete 2 chapters in physics after this. Okay, thank you, and please go through all the topics carefully, and if you have doubts, you are most welcome to ask your questions in the group, or you can send a message to me. Thank you.